Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello my dear students, welcome to Second Commerce Business Studies online classes. In last class we discussed about leadership and its importance. In today's class we are going to discuss qualities of good leader. So an individual possessing the role of leadership is known as a leader. So a leader is required when there is a group. To manage the group, a leader is required. So when there is a group, there must be a leader to manage that whole group, to motivate that group. So many times the success of an organization is attributes to the leader, but due credit is not given to the followers, because followers need to have such factors such as good communication skill, good knowledge, commitment, team spirit, etc. So ability of an individual to adopt all these factors make a person an effective leader. So here it is important to understand the leader-follower relationship. So a person should possess some of the good qualities or traits to become a good leader. They are, let us discuss one by one. The first one is physical features. Physical features like height, weight, health appearance of an individual makes his it appears or determines his personality of an individual. So in an organization, this physical features matters a lot, because his physical fitness or good health helps a leader to work hard and influence others to achieve the organization objective. So in the context of management or an organization, this physical features matters a lot. The second one is knowledge. Knowledge, or good leader should have a adequate required knowledge. When he have proper knowledge, then only he can motivate his subordinates. Without having proper knowledge, he cannot instruct other subordinates, right? So to instruct the subordinates or to motivate the individual or to give guidance to the subordinates, he should have proper or adequate knowledge. So then only others can motivate by the leader. Okay, so required knowledge. For example, in an organization, a lead or the management is planned to start a new project. Then a leader or superior need to instruct his subordinates or their subordinates about that particular project. If the leader is not having sufficient knowledge about that project, then he may not in the position to explain exactly about that project. So that's why before explaining or giving instruction, that leader or the superior should have proper or adequate required knowledge. Then only he is considered as a good leader, and then only he can motivate the subordinates. Integrity. A leader should have high level of integrity. He should be a role model to others regarding ethics and values. Regarding the ethics and values. To the success of an organization, a leader need to intersect his personal interest with the organizational interest. Then only organization can achieve the organizational objective. Okay, so he need to intersect his personal interest with the organizational interest. So he should have high morale and ethics for the success of an organization. So the next one is initiative. He should be an initiative in taking some opportunity. He should not wait for the opportunity. He need to grab the opportunity and make it use advantage to the organization. there are number of opportunities are there in the market. So for the survival purpose, firstly he should grab that opportunity and use that opportunity for the success of overall development of an organization. So he should identify the opportunity. So he should not wait for the opportunity. So he should be a quality of initiative, because for survival is more important. That's why he need to identify the different opportunity for the success of an organization. Communication skill. Of course, a leader should have a good communication skill, because he need to motivate his subordinates in a proper manner. To motivate the subordinates, how he can motivate? Through proper communication only he can motivate his subordinates to put their maximum efforts for the success of an organization. So he should be a good communicator, to motivate, to instruct, to give guidance. So all these required proper communication skill. So leader should be a good communicator, and also he should be a good listener, because he need to listen others properly. Then only he can motivate the subordinates. When he is able to listen others, then he can take correct decision about any situation and all. So he should have the quality of good communicator, as well as he should be a good listener also. And motivation skill. He should understand the needs of people. A good leader always acts a very important role in motivating the subordinates, right? So motivating the subordinates is very important, because every subordinate need to put their maximum efforts for the success of an organization. So motivation by the leader is required to achieve the work targets. Okay, so motivation skill is also a good trait or quality of a leader. To achieve this, motivation is necessary to the individuals or to the subordinates to achieve the work targets effectively. Self-confidence. A leader should have high level of self-confidence. He should not lose his confidence in any situation, in any critical situation. If he loses confidence, then it affects the entire organization. So his confidence is very important to motivate others or to motivate the subordinates. So he should have high level of self-confidence. He should not lose his confidence in any situation. Decisiveness. A leader should have high decisiveness, or he should be a decisiveness in managing work, because he should have the ability to take any decision in any time. At right time he need to take correct decision, because the success of an organization depends on the decision by the leader or the top level management. So when leader takes decision, if he take wrong decision, it affects the organization negatively. Or at correct time or at right time, if he take correct decision, then it positively benefits to the entire organization. So the leader's decision is final, or it is very important for the success of an organization. So he should have the ability to take a correct decision at a correct time. The social skill of leader need to motivate his subordinates, right? So how he can motivate subordinates? When he have the quality of friendliness within the organization, a leader need to maintain friendly environment with his subordinates, because the lower or the operational level workers don't have direct touch with the top level management, right? So in middle of that, supervisors or the leaders only have the direct touch with the subordinates. So he need to maintain a close relationship or the friendly relationship with his subordinates. Then subordinates can directly communicate their feelings or their views with the leaders. So it helps the organization to achieve the objectives, right? So he should maintain good human relationship within the organization with the subordinates. So social skill also a quality of a good leader. To remember that possessing of all these qualities to an individual, it is not possible. In fact, it is not possible to have all these qualities to an individual, right? So, but knowledge about these qualities help a manager to adopt or to take decision in regarding any situation is possible. So these qualities help a manager, or the knowledge of these qualities help a manager to take decision in any time. Let's move to the next topic, leadership style. There are several bases for classifying the leadership style. The most popular classification of leadership style is based on the use of power. First one is autocratic or authoritarian leader. The second one is democratic or participative leader. The third classification is laissez-faire or free rein leader. Based on the situation, organization can choose these styles of leadership. Okay, so under that first one is, let us discuss one by one. Autocratic leader. Autocratic leader is one who gives orders to the subordinate and expects to be obey those orders from the subordinates. Here subordinates are not allowed to give any suggestions or ideas to the leaders. So an autocratic leader just gives orders and expects his subordinates to obey those orders. Subordinates are not allowed to give any suggestions to the leader. That is the main concept in the autocratic leader. Okay, so here if the organization followed this style of leadership or this style of leadership, here only one way communication, that is with the subordinates. Subordinates just follow or they need to act according to the command which is given by the leader. Here they are just need to follow the instructions or orders which is given by the leader. There is complete here in that organization, if any organization is following this style of leadership, then the manager tends to run whole show by himself. Here subordinates are just the followers. They need to obey the rules which is given by the leader. So the entire power and authority is centralized in the hands of leader. In the autocratic leader or authoritarian leadership, in the authoritarian leadership style, the entire power and responsibility and authority is in the hands of leader. Followers just need to follow those rules and regulations. Here they are just the followers of such instructions. So here leader is not have any trust with his followers. So that's why he takes all the responsibility by himself. So this kind of leadership is not popular because it is not appreciated by many organizations, because it is very dominating style of leadership. Here employees are exploited by the organization. To some situation or to some organization, this type of leadership may feel worth, because it have some of the advantages, like if the management is following this kind of leadership style, then they can take a decision, quick decision and absolute control over all activities of the management is possible, and the leader can manage or control the strict orders and discipline within the organization. To such organization, this type of leadership may feel worth, or else this type of leadership is suitable only to such as to the factory situation, like wherein you want the workers to perform their work according to instruction which is given by the superior, and they need to they are really don't have such more educated, they are not more educated in a factory workplace and all. Okay, so their workers necessarily need to follow the instruction which is given by the workers, because they just know how to handle the machine and do the production. They don't know more than that. Okay, so in such situation, this style of leadership is taken a more important role. To remember that Adolf Hitler is one who following this style of leadership in his empire. So autocratic leader is a leader. He gives orders to the subordinate, and just he expects the subordinates to obey those rules. Their subordinates are not supposed to give any suggestion or ideas for the success of an organization. They are not supposed to share their feelings or their feelings with the superior or leader. So, and the next one is what? Democratic leader. It is a second type of leadership style, where the leader seeks suggestions and opinions from his subordinate. Here, subordinates are encouraged to participate in decision making. When we have in the organization, when the manager maintains close relationship or interpersonal relationship with the workers and management, their good work environment can create. So this type of leadership style helps the management to create a good work environment or a healthy work environment within the organization, because here leader seeks suggestions from his suggestions or opinions from his subordinates to take some decisions and all. Leader encourage the subordinates to take some decisions, encourage to participate the subordinate to take some decision about the organization activities and all. So nowadays this style of leadership is most common, because individuals need some motivation. All organizations need to survive in the market scenario, right? So many competitions are there in outside in the market. So for the survival purpose, a leader need to motivate his subordinates in one or other way. So subordinates are the key or the vital role to achieve the organization objective. So to achieve the overall development of organization, their efficient subordinates are required. So to motivate the subordinates, leader need to give some kind of respect to them. Okay, so this type of leadership helps the manager or helps the leader to encourage the subordinates in a positive manner. So here leader seeks suggestions and opinions from his subordinates, and the final decision is taken by the leader itself. He just take the opinions from the subordinates, and he make final decision about the activities of an organization. So the next one is laissez-faire leader, or he also called as free rein leader. It is a type of leader, one who leaves his subordinates to take decision for themselves. he leaves his subordinates, he is a leader, but he leaves his subordinates to take decision for themselves. He thinks that the use of power, unnecessary use of power is not essential. Just when there is when say in a critical situation, if there is a required to instruct the subordinate, then only he will use the power of a leader. Unnecessary, he is not have any interest to use such a power of a leader. So he leaves his subordinates to take decisions for themselves. Subordinates are given high degree of independence to formulate their own objectives and to find out their own ways to achieve the objectives of an organization or to achieve the work targets and all. Here subordinates are framing their own policies or their own ways to achieve the work targets. Here leaders are just support to the act as a supporter to the success of the subordinates work. So one who leaves the subordinates to take decision for themselves, he is called as what? Laissez-faire leader. So depends on the situation. Organization can choose these different styles. So these are the three important types of leadership style. These all are based on classified on the basis of the use of authority. Here autocratic leader is a controller. Leader is have centralized power to take the decision. Democratic leader, he'll take the decision, but before taking any decision, he seeks some suggestions or opinions from the subordinates. And laissez-faire leader, he leaves his subordinates to take decision. Okay, at the end, when the support is needed, at that time only he will give some guidance or instruction to achieve the work targets for the development of an organization. Thank you.